The Depth to Delve Deep by Rote Writer. Chapter 26. The Convent. The smoke from cigarettes, along with the sound of radio broadcasting the Scottish Premier Football League, assaults the senses. It does to any who enter the tea room reserved for the convent crew. Even the sisters are subject to the smoke and soccer scores. They're always in their white tunics lined with blue trim around the head and dress, likened to the tunic of Mother Teresa, belonging to the same Catholic order, the Sisters of Mercy. The convent crew of crooners have fallen through the crevices and cracks of the Scottish fabric. All are firmly planted in each of their respective seats, secured by the imprint they leave, with each heave-ho and overhanging haze left from their smoking and the remnants of their eating habits. They also leave their newspapers around areas they're accustomed to sitting in, emphasis on theirs. Rotes introduced to each one of the residents, as well as each one of the sisters. There are 4 sisters, including the Mother Superior, and 7 residents, including Rote. With 11 beds in total, 4 are left to fill. Apparently the sisters don't keep up to date with technology, avoiding the use of it all together, including the telephone. There's an empty bed in each of the 3 rooms on the top floor, along with 1 empty bed in the room on the second floor. There are 2 stalled washroom facility to facilitate the Forsaken on the top floor and another on the second floor. The second floor is more like a middle landing. It has one of the small dorms held down the hallway from the smoke-filled repentant room of rogues. Repentant is not the word. Perhaps passing time describes their doings. Adjacent to the smoke room is an antiquated laundry room with washboard and the like. Down the stairway is a flight from heaven, likened to the light of Lucifer leaves when he falls. For the top landing has a concave skylight like a dome to the heavens above, to the ground floor and hells below. The main entrance leads down a hall into the main eating area. An area on any given day will entertain between 40 and 50 hungry folk. Further on, Rotes led, down a hall with holy pictures of the bleeding heart of Jesus, crucifixes and rosaries, right into a chapel open to all, though few enter save for the sisters and their Savior. Down the final flight of stairs into the basement, beholden by a kitchen with wash basins and a back door leading to an enclosed yard, the new ward walks. The convent courtyard has an 8-foot-high stone brick wall enclosing a rectangular lot. A lot big enough to be a convent cloister, although the backyard is used mostly as an all-purpose place to plant a garden, hang laundry, and pray to the many shrines scattered in the sanctuary. Down in the basement, at the base of the stairs, is a door that's never open. It's always locked. The sisters live and worship beyond the barrier. They believe, but not enough to leave it unlocked for their own peace of mind. The Missionaries of Charity Convent is a rejuvenated manor midway amongst many conjoined manors. 18 Hopetoun Crescent is an area that's once well-to-do. Hopetoun House, the ancestral home of the Earls of Linlithgow, long ago claimed the crescent containing Rote's new digs and other buildings built on the slow curved crescent as their own. In the early stages of the development of the new town, the now modified manor is once a magnificent aperture of an affluent crescent. Now it's old even to the Newtown moniker, and somewhat dilapidated. These days, solely sparse donations and the will of charity maintain the conventionalized convent coffers. The converted convent's privileged past are revealed by the remnants of the workmanship seen by some of the over 200-year-old floral adornments gracing the ceilings. Along with a skylight, there's a sense the colorful convent crew are living in a place of privilege. Rote returns to the top floor where his own room awaits him. He rejoices with a resounding wow. How a few hours ago he's hopelessly lost, and now, well, he's found in his own room, free, with hot meals served and bathrooms cleaned by the sisters. The Scot lot, including Rote, are cared for more than most men. Aye, kings they are. Rote shakes his head when he thinks about his last week at the hostel, scrounging around for morsels of stale bread, where he pays 11 quid a night to stay in a dorm-sized room with 16 or so, sometimes loud and often drunk roommates. Now, to be cared for freely with a room and board Christian accord is in accord. A Christian court is in accord. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. The spiritual song singing in his soul, the Mother Superior leaves him alone, letting him know that at 8 p.m. each night The sisters will bring up cakes and cookies to the smoke-filled tea room. They have an endless supply of tea, replenished nightly due to the exhaustive amounts they all drink. At 10 p.m., lights are out and all are to be in bed with prayers at 8 in the morning. Lunch is served just for the convent crew residents at precisely 11:45 a.m. Tea, as in supper, will be served to the convent crew after the hungry masses finish their hot meal. Usually after 5 p.m., the doors for tea are open for the masses at 4 p.m. daily, except for the day the sisters go do their errands and or to their Catholic church. The very day Rote arrives. On that day, once a week, the very woman who opens the convent doors to the then wet and without weary wanderer prepares and cooks a meal for just the convent crew, and for that they are fortunate. That day the doors are closed to the masses. On that day a meal so fine is served that when Rote eats, he's honored to not only be served such a sauté of culinary cuisine, but also to be in the presence of a woman whose very essence emanates the manifestation the sisters aspire to. She volunteers her time and effort every week without the veneer of piety. To do all that for a bunch of ingrates, in Rote's mind, makes her the mother of all saints, surely surpassing the sisters' sacrifice. Rote lets it be known each week how wonderful and grateful he feels to be served such a fine servant, without question the finest food he's ever had. The others, not wanting to be outdone with Rote's gracious responses, eventually chime in. Following morning, Rote awakes after his arrival. He makes his bed in the manner of a military barracks bunk, showers, and saunters down the middle landing of his new keep. He enters the smoky hub where all days begin and end for the convent crew. With a cup of tea and a rolled smoke, he reaches for the paper only after the person who pays for it finishes with it. It doesn't take long to learn. Some of the sisters brave the reek of the room each morning at 8 a.m. to offer up their daily hymns with whoever is present. Some sods make sure they escape the morning ritual, leaving the convent before the humming and the praying begins. Afterwards, the sisters will carry on with their diligent duties of the day. On that first morning upon his advent, Rote's asked to pick a hymn from their hymn book. After rifling through it, Rote stops on the hymn, Amazing Grace. The sisters sing the hymn while the few gathered only seem so because they willingly put up with this daily ritual rather than going out of their way to do something other than nothing, like taking a walk, sit outside somewhere, anything but what they do daily. Endlessly drinking tea, rolling I lost myself here. Endlessly drinking tea, rolling and smoking cigarettes, along with listening to the Scottish Premier League football broadcasts on the radio. Intermittently rereading a paper that's already been read in the wee hours of their day with their morning tea. Their tale is told. Worry-free, he heads out the door to downtown Edinburgh after an awful rendition of Amazing Grace. Though poignant in hymn, not in song, just wrong, painfully so. So much so they sound sorry, sad, and really